Thank you to Thomas Moreira for these 4 suggestions. Hello everybody, this is JT Productions and I'm back with another preview and prediction video. Today I'll be doing the Purdue Boilermakers. Last season, Purdue went 9-4, 6-3 in the Big Ten. It was a pretty good year for Purdue, only losing the 4 games of the regular season at Notre Dame, against Minnesota, against Wisconsin, and then at Ohio State. They had a knack for beating teams they were not supposed to. On October 16th, they went to, I believe, either number 3 or number 2 Iowa and beat them in a sort of blowout 24-7. And then on November 6th, they had Michigan State come to town and beat them in a blowout as well, 40-29. So they were kind of the giant killers at this point, and then on a questionable call on a non-Tennessee fans account, y'all did beat Tennessee in overtime. However, you did lose some games that you shouldn't have, like Minnesota. They didn't have Mohamed Ibrahim at this point in the season. You also struggled in some games like Illinois, or Nebraska, and teams like that. However, in the games you won convincingly, you looked good. You have your quarterback back, Aiden O'Connell, who will be a great addition to your team. You have Payne Durham, great tight end, and you have a transfer wide receiver, Tyrone Tracy, from Iowa. You have another one, Charlie Jones, from Iowa as well. Wide receivers should be fine. You did lose David Bell to the draft. However, I think that these 2 transfers could give you some stability in the receiving front. You got one more transfer, this time on the offensive line on the offense, from Kent State and Daniel Johnson, an offensive tackle. So if he can help, then that's great. Your offensive line should be still fine. Running back position, you have 2 seniors. I don't know if you're going to be running the ball a lot, but 2 career guys should help your offense out a lot. You have a senior defense. Your defense, if it can be as good, if not better than last year, then you should be fine. So, I think your defense will be fine. You got some transfers in at linebacker, like Scotty Humphick from Murray State, senior transfer. You got 2 in the secondary, and T. Denson from Kansas State, corner, sophomore. And then Reese Taylor from Indiana, senior transfer. So let's look at how you have done in recruiting. So, Purdue ranked 45th in the country in recruiting over the past 5 years. 37th this year in 2022, 76th in 2021, 32nd in 2020, 25th in 2019, and 52nd in 2018. Not bad for Purdue, a kind of lower program. So, now that we've got that out of the way, let's see how you will do this year, in my opinion. You start the season with a hard game. You're probably going to be underdog, not a huge, but a couple touchdown underdog in this game. Penn State comes to town. Penn State has, over the years, been one of the more upper echelon Big Ten East teams. And compared to the Big Ten West's upper echelon teams, they're a lot better. I think you drop this one at home, even though it's at home. Penn State, they get Sean Clifford back. They have Parker Washington. They have more weapons. And I think your defense is just not going to be enough. And I think their defense, even though it may be a little bit worse than last year, I think they get the job done. So I think you lose your first game at home. Then you play Indiana State as a little buffer between your 2 first really kind of difficult games. You'll get the win there and be 1-1 going into a road game, a non-con road game, on the road at Syracuse. The only team in the Power 5, I believe, with a dome stadium. So that's going to make it a lot louder than it would otherwise. I think this is going to be a difficult game. Syracuse is going to be better than people think. However, I think you get the win. I think Aiden O'Connell is going to have to will you to win some of these games on offense. Yeah, I think he does in this one. So I think you're 2-1 going to play Florida Atlantic at home, and I think that's going to be another win. Florida Atlantic, I think they got N'Kosi Perry, who came over from Miami. I just don't think that they're on your level. So, I think you come out of your first 4 games 3-1. Then you're on the road at Minnesota. Minnesota is going to be a hit-and-miss team this year. I've done a preview prediction on them already. Their defense should be fine. I do like, PJ Fleck, their coach. He's a great head coach. Their defense is not going to be as good. However, their offense is going to be good. I think you get another loss on the road. I think some growing pains with the new wide receivers may kick in. The defense may not be as good as we think. And I think that you lose on the road at Minnesota. A little bit harder place to play in the Big Ten West. So, I think you come out 3-2. Then you're on the road at Maryland. Back-to-back road games, never an easy task, especially going from one side of the Midwest to the other. And I think you lose here too. There it's a very volatile offense with Tulia Tagovailoa and the Maryland staff. And I think if it came to a shootout in their place, I think they'll win it. So I think you are 3-3 going into the game against Nebraska. Now, if you've seen my Nebraska preview, I think I've done one. Yeah, I think I have. If you've seen it, you know that I'm pretty high on them. So this is not going to be an easy game. However, you get them at your house after 2 back-to-back road games, and I think you get the win. I think Nebraska comes into the town, and you come in. They're going to be pretty highly ranked, probably at this point. I'll have to check back. But I think you get a big upset at home against Nebraska. Then you have to go on the road to Wisconsin. And I think this is a game that Purdue is a type of team to where when you have no expectation, they surprise you big. They give you a big surprise. But if you have expectations for them, they will let you down just like that. And I think this is going to be one of those occasions. I think you go on the road to Camp Randall, and I think you get a loss. Wisconsin, their offense, if Graham Mertz can't put it together this year, they're not going to be that good this year. Their defense is going to be the shining spot, and if their defense can shut you down, you're not going to be able to do much. Then you have your bye week. Then you have Iowa at home. Iowa is the polar opposite of you. They have a great defense, but their offense is putrid. So I think you get the win at home against Iowa. So what is that? Let's see here. So you're 5-4. Yeah, 5-4. Then you have a home game in between 2 road games. At Illinois, Northwestern, and at Indiana. I think you win those 3 to finish the season 8-4 with a shot at the Big Ten title. Right now, it's Purdue and between 2 other teams for the Big Ten title, in my opinion. So we'll see how it shakes out once these predictions are done and when the season has finished. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you have any suggestions for other teams for me to do, I will gladly do them. Just with my schedule, I'll be doing predictions Monday through half of Friday. I'll be doing most predictions Monday through Thursday with an exception of some on Fridays and taking the weekends off. However, if you do suggest some like Friday before I take my leave, I will do those the Monday after that weekend. So anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this video. I've made playlists for all the conferences and all the teams that I've done so far. So if you would like to check those out, that would be great. I love seeing y'all interact with the comments and everything like that. Anyways, have a great day and go Dogs.